and YouTube. So
hi, Twitch.
I'm twitching it. I can't stop twitching.
you should see a doctor about that.
No way,
I've
man.
been twitching for weeks.
I'm just an epic gamer, that's all.
My eyeball's been twitching for weeks. It's driving me nuts.
I hate that.
It's like, brrrr.
Like, when do I get a gun?
I want to shoot it. It's nice to have the day off, though. I gotta tell you. We slept in our camper last night. It was fun.
It's just like
the hell of it.
driveway camping.
Yeah, in our backyard. Set it up in our backyard. We had s'mores where it's like we were supposed to be camping at the Homebrew Fest this weekend, but we decided to camp in our backyard instead. Which has been pretty fun.
All right, I'm hitting record on the thinger.
Well, let us know when to hit record.
Just hit it now so you don't forget.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right. I'm recording.
Where is Timmy?
Why is the recording volume moving on its own? It's not a thing I'm happy about.
The recording volume in Audacity is moving on its own?
Yeah.
It might be StreamYard controlling that, because it has its own basic, it fixes your audio for you. If you speak quietly, does it go up?
I'm speaking loudly. Will it go down? Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I don't know why.
What's our link? Is it?
It's like it drifted up on its own.
4brewers.live, twitch.tv/4brewers,
okay.
4brewers.com/YouTube.
Slash
4brewers.com/live.
I'm talking quiet. Yeah, I don't understand why it's changing. It doesn't seem to be for a second now. So, nope, there it went.
It's not good. You might want to try this before we actually start the show. Go to the cam mic settings. Go to audio and do disable processing.
Boop, 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 boop.
You're gonna sound weird in the live stream, but I just want to see if it affects your problem.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's what it is.
Pro tip.
Yeah.
Be careful when sharing. Got it. I got it.
I think that was it. Does it sound weird in the game?
You sound lower now, yeah.
Yeah, you sound pretty low.
Turn up the gain on your mic just to see what happens.
It's the top one. It's the upper nipple.
Like I can see it on camera, but not in life. Turned up the gain a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. How does that sound?
You sound really low on the live stream. Is there a way to raise your level inside of StreamYard?
It looks like no. They have which input you want and let it auto process or go fuck yourself.
I mean, turn it on auto process, and if it's changing the audio in Audacity, I'm assuming it's going to sound just as good as you sound now, or with it with the processing enabled, because you sound good live.
Okay.
Unless you want to turn the processing back on and then do some stuff where you kind of speak loudly and softer and then play it back and listen to it. It's kind of why I want to do a test on this first, but. You know me.
Testing.
Yeah, I have it back on now. I can't find any rhyme or reason to why it changes the volume at certain times.
It's like changing it at a hardware or software level, I should say. It's weird.
Yeah. So I went quiet and the volume went up, and now I'm talking and it went back down. So I don't know. Let me see.
Does it show you a live waveform and as it's recording?
Yeah.
So if you're tuning in to the live stream, we obviously have started, but we have not started the show. Tim isn't here yet. We know he's alive because he was in the
nipples.
The Google Doc earlier. And so Jason's working out some audio issues. And we'll get started here very soon.
And I've got nipples.
And Greg has nipples.
Nipples.
Greg Napple.
I can't chat for some reason. That's funny. I don't have like a box for chat. Like I can't type anything. Sorry, I can't type to people in chat.
Oh, you mean in StreamYard?
Yeah.
Next time, you'll just have to log in through my email, and then you'll have all the same stuff that me and Jason have.
I can private chat, but not live.
Yeah, that's because you're not signed in through my...
Yeah, I'm signed in through Facebook, which is like, all right. Good old Facebook.
So we got Josh Pesme, Pesme. He's in the YouTube chat, and he's saying, what's up? He is one of our latest patrons on Patreon.
Oh, what up,
sweet.
dude?
So he didn't get charged this month because, one, I didn't release any episodes, and two, we weren't going to charge people anyway. So...
Firestone Walker.
So, Greg, how are you doing your second recording with an actual recorder?
No, I got Audition up. Adobe Audition.
And you're not having the issue with the input volume changing?
No, looks good on mine. Where you can do a share screen with John and maybe see if you can work out something. That's what I did on mine. Mine was just a little bit too loud, and I
Jason,
tried to do multi-track, and it was like, nope.
Jason, how about you stop recording and then listen back to it on your own? Like, do a quick...
Yeah, it sounds a little hot. Like, it doesn't sound terrible, but you can see when I'm loud that it'll cap. It doesn't distort, but it's a little loud.
If it's not distorting, I want to say you'll be okay. But if you think it's going to be a concern, then...
You sound good right now.
I'm assuming you're going to sound the same way in the recording.
I mean, I think it seems like it'll be all right. Or it won't.
Did you play it back?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
As long as it's not breaking.
No, it's not.
It's not clipping. Okay.
No.
Tim's having technical issues, so he will be here shortly.
He's trying to get in.
He's stuck at the door. They're checking his ID. He left it at home.
He's stuck in traffic.
And for giggles, let me turn off this dumb fan.
Wait. I'm thirsty.
I already started drinking.
I might go get a Pivo, actually.
Just
all right. WNBC.
WNBC.
Oh man, this label's coming off. What the hell, Firestone?
Do we want to just start and Tim can jump in when Tim jumps in?
No, we'll wait. We're in no rush. We're doing one episode, so.
We've got 9 people looking for entertainment, John.
Well, let's
they want to be
them.
entertained. Are you not entertained?
This is the pre-show, behind-the-scenes banter.
Yeah.
Everyone's audio sounding better.
That's what Jeff said in the Twitch chat.
This topic here, what beers that we've been drinking lately, is the theme of the show, so we're not giving away the gold yet.
I drank a bottle of wine last night.
How'd that go?
Yeah, I've never done that.
I did mimosas last Sunday.
Woo.
I started doing with grapefruit juice, which is way more my jam than the orange. A little bit
Your
more
jam,
bite.
more your jam.
Yeah, my jam.
Is there
Just
grapefruit
like-
jam?
I don't.
It'd be like a marmalade, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Grapefruit marmalade. I'd never know because I couldn't eat it. I would die.
We got Mace Mall saying he was trying to decide on when to open his first beer, and we
Now would be a good time.
us popping or pooping
Pooping.
helped him decide.
See,
Well, you're welcome.
I have homebrew right here.
We are excuses to start
Live
drinking.
homebrew.
Chug, 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 chug. I just want Greg to take the stopper out, lift the 5-gallon jug, and
Yep, I have to work on that today. It's a loquat wine, and it's done with primary, so I got to filter it, get all the chunks and shit out of it.
we are going to do an actual episode with an intro and all that stuff in a hot second. We are just waiting for Tim to join.
Yeah, this is not a regular Friday night hangout thing. This is supposed to be an actual episode. Don't know how it's going to go because we can't taste the same beers, which is going to be a little weird to figure out, I think, in the beginning, but we're just going to go with it, see what happens.
Whoop. Sweet guitar case, Greg.
Yeah, it's empty. Do you want one?
A guitar
My
case?
guitar's on the stand. I've never used the case. I got it for my birthday a long time ago, and the guitar just sits on a thing. So,
I may have played that guitar more than Greg has.
what's that?
I said I may have played that guitar more than you have.
My guitar?
Yeah, your guitar.
Really? No, I play it.
Oh, okay. You can play guitar?
Yeah, I play it when generally people aren't home because they're always like, "Stop! I'm trying to watch TV." And then the smallest dog gets frightened by it.
We should do an LA Beer Week Battle of the Bands thing next year. Jason
All
can
right.
play
Just invite-
something, right?
I've got a pretty sweet bass over here.
Dude, we've got 2 guitars and a bass. We just need a drummer.
Boom, boom, boom. I actually play drums better than I do guitar.
Oh, then do you have a drum kit?
I don't. I don't have room for one.
Patreon.com if you want to help Greg buy a new drum kit so we can.
My buddy gave away a whole kit when he moved, a year, less than a year ago.
I'm gonna go get a Pivo pills real quick.
So again, if you're just joining us, we are waiting for Tim. We are going to do an actual episode. We are just kind of waiting for Tim to show up. So if it's boring now, just wait till later. And I mean that in the joking kind of way.
Technically, I actually have a bass amp too, where I no longer have a guitar amp, but I do have an acoustic and electric guitar still. Keep around for sentimental value.
I have everything I had when I was in Better Luck except for my 5150 head, which I don't know if you know Sean Pierce Johnson, the guitar guy on YouTube, and he was an MBT fan. He used it for an album, and I had an issue with the transformer on it. So,
was it more than meets the eye? Oops. So I'm going to stop my recording and start it over, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
According to Tim, his internet is being super intermittent.
Oh. Well,
He said to just go on without him. So, okay, we will.
that's crazy.
I can't help but laugh, but
All right, I'm hitting record again.
Okay.
Record has been hitted.
I'm recording. Record check.
I am recording. Check 1 2. Check.
Audience is super glad they got to be here for this.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Four Brewers podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am not joined by
Jason Harris
And Greg Nagel.
And Tim might be here. He's having internet issues, and you might be wondering, what do internet issues have to do with Tim not being here? And that's because we are doing this show over the internet. This is our actual first ever time doing a show as a podcast from three right now, separate locations. And obviously, we're doing this because of our current situation in the world, the pandemic that's happening, which, of course, we're going to talk about because that's kind of why we're doing the show this way. This isn't my preferred way of doing the podcast, obviously. We can't try the same beers. So we're going to be basically, we have a theme for the show, which this week it's quarantine freshies. And we're drinking our own stuff. So you're probably going to get less of the actual talk about the beers, which I don't think we ever really talk about the beers a lot anyway. It's I think percentage-wise, talking about the beers is usually lower than the other bullshit we talk about. But yeah, we're just going to see how this goes and go from there. So before we dive into the beers, I just want to give a shout out to our latest supporter on Patreon, Josh Pesme. Hope I'm saying that right. He's actually hanging out in the YouTube chat right now. He signed up in April 2020. And we thank him for doing that. And as a reminder for Patreon, if you missed the message, if you're a current patron on Patreon, at the beginning of April, we sent out a message saying that we weren't going to charge for any of our episodes on Patreon. And if you're unfamiliar with how Patreon works, you can either sign up to charge people on a monthly basis or on a per work basis. So we charge on a per work basis. So if you give us $1 on Patreon and we release 4 episodes, you're going to give us $4 that month. We're still going to release shows on Patreon, but we're not going to quote unquote charge for them. So you still get the content. You don't have to worry about getting charged, even if you can afford it. We don't need the money right now. And we're probably going to extend that through May as well, and then go from there and see what's happening.
We're all essential workers.
What's that?
Said we're all essential and we're still getting a paycheck. So
yeah, and it's a small thing. I mean, we have a good amount of patrons to, help us fund our activities that we do. But since we're not going to be really doing any of those activities this year, there's no reason why we have to charge, and we can, take the hit. So it's not a big deal. So thanks to Josh for signing up on Patreon. That's awesome. And if you want to sign up to support the show, you get some perks. You get some behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to start releasing more of the old NBT Brewing episodes that we did back in the day with Matt.
Woo!
Because we still have plenty of those. And outside of that, I also put a video up on YouTube explaining what happened over the month of April. I basically didn't release any episodes. We put out an episode last week. It's one that we did with Aaron Barkenhagen from Bootleggers Brewery. And I have a couple more that I'm sitting on. One was beers from Laguna Beach Brewing Company, which I want to give a shout out to them real quick because they did send us a lot of beer and they sent us some merch. Like they went out of their way. They hand delivered the beer to my wife. Really cool. And the beers were excellent. So that's going to be coming up too. So there's still stuff happening. But if you want a recap of what happened during April, just go watch the video. It's our latest on YouTube. That being said, what are you drinking, Jason? What's your first beer?
So I poured this beer an hour ago before John started the intro, and it has the fluffiest lingering head. Look at this. It is just like...
That looks like a Brett thing.
Yeah, so, it's pretty nuts.
This is a Charisma Check from Bottle Logic Brewing.
No. This is the...
Oh, it's not.
No, this is the Claremont Craft Ales Pink Boot Society collaboration.
Beer Friends Forever?
Yeah. So I thought it'd be a fun highlight. I know we the Pink Boots has been a friend of the show, the Pink Boot Society in general. We've had Denise on promoting it, and I think it's a cool concept. Yeah, so it's a hazy IPA. I believe from what they say on the can, it is a something about a Pink Boots hop blend.
Yeah, it's a special blend that they do every year. That somebody, I think the president of the Pink Boot Society and several other members do the hop selection up at Yakima, and then they come back with like this blend, and then anybody who brews that beer uses that hop blend, and you can make any style of beer you want. I know Anaheim Brewery down the street with Barbara Garavac is the owner, and she does a like a Belgian triple with it and uses that hop blend, and it's very delicious. I think it's their best beer that they've ever made. But it's kind of interesting.
I'm curious what exactly do they say what the blend is? Because it has an interesting profile. It's a little bit more like danky than your average New England IPA tends to be, but the beer is super. It's still got that really soft mouthfeel and everything else. It's actually hitting the profile pretty well, which I'm pretty impressed by with Claremont. They're a smaller local brewery, so
they've been around, I think, the longest in Inland Empire, right? I mean, are they LA technically?
They are technically LA County, yes.
LA County, but yes, the Inland Empire. We've had this discussion on the show a lot of times, but the county line isn't what defines the area.
Yeah, there's Montclair and then Claremont, and Montclair is Inland Empire, and Claremont next door is LA.
The Inland Empire starts at the 57 freeway.
Pretty much.
I agree.
Pomona, Claremont are LA County, but Inland Empire.
Gotcha.
So, Greg, what are you drinking?
I just cracked. I had a nice Pivo Pils that just got delivered this morning, all the way from Paso Robles, not like from my grocery store, which is great. Obviously, one of my favorite hoppy Pilsners. And then based on some of the other things that they had lingering around their online store, I got a bunch of random stuff like Cherry Barrel Blossom. It's a Imperial Smoked Porter. It's kind of
just to clarify, this is from Firestone Walker Brewing Company.
Yes, they sent me this bottle. So something I've never had before. And I would assume it's going to be one of those big barrel-aged beers. You never know what you're going to get with Firestone Walker, but usually they're pretty good. So
yeah, they don't miss.
If you've never had them, yeah, they don't miss very often.
I didn't love Flapjack, but
Flapjack?
Yeah. A little too heavy on the maple with Flapjack.
I don't think Greg was there for the Flapjack, or was he? Yes, he was. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I mean,
when we drank Flyjack or whatever that was.
Yeah,
Flyjack. I like Flyjack.
Sounds like a sex move. I gave her the old Flyjack, and then
whoa, Nelly.
Well, I'm drinking a Stone Buenaveza. This is their, I'm just going to say it. This is their fizzy yellow beer. That they, if you remember Stone from 10 years ago, they were like fizzy yellow beers for wussies. And then they realized fizzy yellow beer is what most people drink, and they decided to make one. And I'm not trying to talk shit on Stone for making this beer because it's an excellent beer, but I'm just saying.
Don't worry, John. They're still badass. They're suing fizzy yellow beer. Like that beer says Stone. No way, bro. We're Stone. Why don't you get out of here with that wussy beer?
But this is
beer with salt and lime.
This is an American lager made with salt and lime, like Jason said. And they sent us a few of these in like a really nice media package. I want to say 2 months ago.
Yeah, I got one.
And I did a video on our IG Instagram TV. Is that what they're calling it? IGTV when it came out. And when I talked to their media person, they mentioned, hey, it's going to be Cinco de Mayo. And, you can't really go out to bars and celebrate. How about you talk about this beer? Because it's perfect. And it just hit nationwide distribution. So I went out and bought another 6-pack. And that's what I'm drinking, and it's excellent. And I think the lime in this actually comes through pretty well. It's pretty balanced. Salt I don't get as much, which I think is good. It's probably something that's helping dry the beer out. But when you pour this thing, the head's pretty thick, but it dissipates very quickly. It's a fizzy yellow beer for sure. And then you're just stuck with yellow liquid in the glass. So
I've had a bunch. I think it's best served out of the can. Honestly, it's one of those like crushers. like poolside beers where you know you're not going to be geeking out on a light lime salty lager. I think it serves a purpose really nicely, and I think it goes with a lot of good Mexican food. Obviously, like if you had some tacos, I'm eating some tacos with that. I think it'd be really good.
And on the salt topic too, I think it's real easy to go overboard on that, right? Like you're not trying to make a freaking gozo, right? Like you're not trying to get just a ton of salinity. I think they're just trying to give a little bit of seasoning, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
not
think
over the top.
it's intentional with this that I think it's kind of on the lower side. I almost think it's kind of like gimmicky because it's salt and lime, you know, like a lime rimmed glass with salt on it with, you know, a nice cold lager inside of it. It makes sense for what it is too.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a glass with that, I would definitely put some lime around the rim and then dip it in some tahini. And,
do you use like I've never had a michelada, but do you just use like cheap lager to make one of those?
Yeah, I use Mexican lager, and then I have the picante version of the clamato. It's clam juice, and it's perfect. I mean, you can use tomato juice too, I would assume. And then some Worcestershire, put some hot sauce through, squeeze a couple limes in there.
That sounds so fucking gross.
It's so refreshing though, and ice.
I thought you just
And
buy
ice.
the styrofoam cup from 7-Eleven and
Those
a
are so
tolly,
salty, though.
a tolly of Pacifico, and you just freaking combine
do
for
that way?
$4.
Yeah, those aren't as good though. If you make them fresh, they're so much better. Sorry, people.
Yeah, as far as the tomato-based drinks go, like the micheladas and Bloody Marys and stuff, like I've never been a fan. Like V8 juice is what I think of when I think of those drinks, and V8 is like the saltiest thing I've ever tasted. It's so over the top.
Like, who is the drunk motherfucker that just had like a jar of marinara sauce and some liquor, and they're like, but wait, if you combine these...
It's so good though. So I make the Bloody Mary at home with aquavit instead of gin or vodka, and it's super good. A lot of good caraway it adds to it, and just one of those things that I don't know. Just as you get older, you start appreciating different things. Jason,
just pour it over spaghetti, and
oh,
I'm gonna
dude.
dip some mozzarella sticks in it.
I've had distilled tomato juice before. Somebody made like a distilled. They took tomatoes and fermented them down and then distilled it and into an alcohol. And it was good.
So you had like tomato pruno?
It was clear. Yeah, it was clear, completely clear, and it smelled like tomato juice. It was very strange.
Weird.
I forget what it's called, but damn, dude, this beer is like woo. So cherry barrel blossom. Like if you just put this in front of me blind, I would assume the first thing that hits me is some cherry, like cherry wood, not like cherries. It's sort of like it's very interesting. It's super rich smelling, but it's not like ice cream or a cherry pie or something like that. It's just very like roasted wood.
According to Untapped, it's an imperial porter aged in bourbon barrels for 1 year and 6 to 8 months in cherry bitters barrels. I didn't know cherry bitters were a thing.
Yeah,
the final blend. The final blend is 88% bourbon barrel aged mixed with 12% cherry bitters barrel aged beer. So I could see how it comes off more.
Comes off more of cocktaily, like a Manhattan. I mean, to be totally honest,
that's interesting.
Bourbon notes. It's got sort of like a cherry wood kind of note to it, and then the smoke is not even. I would not even pick out smoke out of this at all. Like for that to be even on the label is kind of confusing. I mean, it's got like a little bit of smokiness, but it's more attributed to like a chocolatey flavor than it is smoke. You know what I mean? But
they say they added sea salt to it also.
Okay. Just to brighten it up. Maybe it was a little muddy.
It said, let's see. Then you add the mild inclusion of sea salt that brings all these flavors together while adding mouthfeel. So.
It's got to be, wow. What's on the bottom of that?
Chunks. This beer's chunky.
No, it's a
little bit of a hop blend.
The chonk boy.
The chonkers.
Yeah, some of the hops I got raw. Look at that shit.
Dude, Take him to the dome, my friend.
I'm gonna have
Get
to
a
rinse
hot blend.
for sure.
So,
Yeah,
we're gonna try to mix in some like outside conversation because we're not gonna have much of a show if we just open individual beers, talk about them, and then that's it. I want to know. I already know what you guys have been up to, but since we haven't released a show technically in a month, last week was a show that we recorded about a month ago. What have you guys been up to? Like, just a general, I guess, summary of your life at the moment.
Of April.
How you're adapting, what you are doing to keep yourself occupied. Start with Jason.
Go for it.
So yeah, I'm still working, and so is the girlfriend. So we just pretty much can't have fun, but we still go out every day to work. I've been playing a lot of Division 2, practicing for 2021. Trying to just get ahead of the curve on that one. I've done a couple takeout beer runs just to get out of the house, where I order beer from somewhere far away and drive for the sake of leaving.
How was that? Like the different experiences at the different tasting rooms?
It's fun. It's interesting that everybody has a different kind of take on it. Like there hasn't really calcified like here's the standard way to do takeout. But I think the two that were doing it best were Highland Park and Beechwood, both of whom you ordered and paid online. They would get your order ready, and then when you show up, they pretty much just hand it to you to go from inside. Highland Park was super, super careful on it, where they actually have their patio closed off. They have a phone number that you text if you get there, and they bring your food out, or bring your food and drinks or whatever out, put it on a table, and they're just like, peace, see you later, and leave it there for you to grab and take off. So that way their people are kept far away too. Yeah. Some of them are a little bit more like, just text this dude and tell him what you want and then come pick it up. And I was like, that's a little weirder. Like that's how Rick was.
That for me, like, first of all, hearing the different ways breweries are implementing this no contact like pickup situation, I hope that sticks around, because for someone who, I like to hang out in tasting rooms and talk to people. I'm not like super introverted, but it's nice to be able to just like you said, order something online, drive there, and not even have to go in. Say, yo, I'm here. Can you bring my stuff out? Yeah, here you go. It seems like a new way to better get beer into the hands of people that may not want to go inside of a busy tasting room. Like if you order beer from Beechwood Long Beach and it's a normal, Saturday afternoon and that place is hopping and it's usually packed. I'm not saying it's difficult to get a crowler of beer, but you might be in there for 10, 15 minutes. Maybe you'll have a beer while you're there that you didn't necessarily want to have. And then you got to, flag someone down. And I'm not saying it's, this is all negative things, but if there was a way to curtail all of that and just say, hey, I'm here, bring me my beer.
The drive-through ones have been pretty cool too. Green Cheek is doing like a Sonic burger, basically. Like you drive up, they give you a menu, you tell them what you want, and then they go get it and bring it out to you. And Claremont's kind of in the middle, where you pre-buy on the internet and then you drive up and they bring it out to your car. They actually just threw it in my trunk for me. I was like, perfect.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So Greg, what's up with you, man?
So like 80% of my life has been working since I work for a huge tech company, and our Asia components have been shut down. So we've been picking up the slack. So I've been working 10-hour days, six days a week since March 15th. We've sort of let off the gas a little bit, thankfully, this past couple weeks. So I've been able to like get home at 5 instead of 6 every day, working 7 to 6. And when I get home, it's spending time with the fam, and then eating dinner, maybe play some video games to unwind a little bit, and then go to bed, rinse and repeat. But now I'm sort of like, I took my birthday weekend off last weekend, so I had a nice 4-day run of doing nothing. And since it's our birthday, we've been camping in our backyard. We were supposed to be at the California Homebrew Fest this weekend, which obviously was shut down. Rip, that sucks, but it is what it is. And, I have homebrew in the fridge. I've got good food that we planned on making. We had that for dinner last night. We had a fire in our backyard. We did s'mores, slept in our camper. And it's been nice to kind of like reset and get rid of shit in our house and kind of get organized and, do all the things that when you just don't have the time to do. It's been nice. And then the beer of just getting delivered. Supporting all the locals that do delivery, I think, has been my number one thing.
The mail order stuff has been awesome too. Like all of the best breweries in California are like, yeah, we'll send you a case through the mail. No big.
Dude,
you want a case of Russian River beer? Yeah, we'll send it to you. No big.
Dude, the Firestone one was free shipping if you get over $100. And it's like if you get the 6 packs of Pivo or $9.99. So you just get four of those and then get like 6 other bottles of like the stuff that I bought and easily $100 free ship. Like, come on.
Oh,
it came within 2 days.
I got to jump on that because Sarah loves Union Jack too. Are they using Golden State overnight?
Yeah, something like that.
I've learned that if you answer your Ring doorbell and tell them to just leave it, they will.
Yeah. I've ordered beer from, Modern Times, Green Cheek, and Offshoot, the brewery. And, I believe they all used Golden State overnight, and Golden State overnight under normal circumstances is very strict with getting a signature for alcohol. And like you said, Jason, now they're like, oh, someone's here. You look like an adult. Okay, it's cool. We're good. Yeah. And it kind of like with my job, like for the last couple of years, we do all of our time tickets on our phones, and we all have iPhones. And they are like, you have to get a signature, and the signature field has to have something in it, and you have to make a contact with the person because they want the people to know that we're there servicing their elevators, which makes sense. And now it's like, no, don't let them touch it.
Bother.
Just say that you saw them, and put something in the field so it doesn't flag it in the system, and you're good to go.
The guy this morning just asked me my name. What's your first name? Greg. What's your last name? Nagel. Okay. Left it at the door. So
I got to remember that because I don't have a Ring doorbell. I have the Amazon, the Blink cameras, and those alert you to activity, and they have a built-in two-way communication system. So Yvonne's generally here because she works for the Boys and Girls Club, and obviously she does a lot of after-school stuff, and that was put to an end, which, side note, they're going to start paying her again. Because they have the money sitting around, and it's not like they're a business that stops making profit if things stop, because they're a nonprofit. So she's going to start getting paid again, but she was on unemployment and stuff, so she's been fine. But yeah, the delivery stuff for beer has been fantastic. Modern Times, the first order I made was for a case of beer, and I ordered it on like 10 o'clock on a Monday or whatever, and it was at my house the next day by 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, it was just literally overnight, fresh, super fresh beer. So again, going along with what I said with these strategies they're doing in their tasting rooms with, getting beer to people in the way that has the least amount of friction. Shipping is another way. Like, yeah, you're paying $100. If Modern Times, if you get their cheapest one, it's like $72 for a case of beer, and I think that's like a case of all ice, Modern Times ice.
All right.
But it's 6 4-packs of beer, and you're good to go for a while with that
for the week. And
so
I really hope that they keep these relaxed standards in place, because it's been cool to watch the creativity of the businesses trying to figure out unique ways to serve people now that they're not limited, where it's like, well, the law says the only way you can do it is this type of container going over this counter or this day, like.
I really think this situation is almost a catalyst for change. And in the industry with like the laws and but the 3-tier system and all that, like, because you got businesses that if you look at some of the surveys that the Brewers Association are putting out, like a lot of it's like 45% of craft breweries don't think they're going to be able to sustain business in the next 2 to 3 months, and like I can't imagine losing half of America's craft breweries that quick. It's like they just got Thanos overnight, and
Right.
they're gone.
Yeah.
So
to be
I think
to be
relax. Just to finish my thought, relaxing a lot of these rules, as long as it's it's still keeping things competitive and fair. I think it's fine, and you're going to have a lot of, especially from the Brewers Association, they're going to be lobbying Congress, saying, "Look, we were put in this situation, we adapted to it. Why don't we just keep going? Because it's helping businesses, and once the smokes, the dust settles on this whole situation, it's just another way for these tasting rooms to better serve the public."
But think of how many middle schoolers are ordering $100 cases of beer just so they can get wasted on Hazy Boys.
Exactly.
right. I mean, I sort of have it lucky where I live, where I can get Unsung, Offshoot. Who else have I ordered through direct? Chapman Crafted, through local deliveries. So there's like a $5 fee, I think, and there's no tipping policy too, which I'm like, dude, let me tip you. You're bringing something to my house. They're like, no tipping, no tipping. I'm like, what?
They
like,
probably don't want your dirty ass coronavirus cash.
Right. That's, I guess. But I mean, come on, guys. But all of them have been awesome, and they've all arrived fresh and cold and on time.
That's like the third branch on this new like distribution model, I guess, for local California breweries, is like they're doing their own delivery, and a lot of them do their own delivery distribution to local liquor stores and stuff. But actually taking it to your house, I don't know if that's sustainable. But again, it's something that maybe they wouldn't have tried in the past, because it's like, no way, that's just too much to ask of us to do. And now they're forced to do it. And maybe it's one of those things where they're like, this isn't so bad. Maybe we can keep doing this because people are buying beer.
Unsung ran out of Crowlers. They're like, we're out. So I'm like, if that's the situation, I think they're doing okay, I would assume. I mean, you just don't run out of Crowlers.
Well, apparently this is something that's happening in the country. Tim posted a link in the document, and I didn't read it, but it's from Washington Beer Blog. And basically the headline is, the Ball Corporation says Crowler shortage is real but temporary. So it's kind of, I don't know if it's likely a mixture of, consumers buying more product that is in a Crowler and maybe lack of manufacturing of Crowlers.
Gotcha. So they're dropping the ball is what you're saying.
Apparently they only manufacture them like in batches, like a few times a year. And so like their batch ran out, but like a week after I heard about that, like you stopped hearing about it. I think
they got them back in.
They were like, oh yeah, we could just turn those lines back on. Let's go ahead and print
Right.
a bunch of money, because
I would think Ball is an essential like manufacturing company, because they just don't make cans; they make a lot of different stuff. So, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, my shtick is I'm trying to support all my local breweries, because we have so many amazing ones here in Anaheim, and it's like I've been spreading the love every week, and and shopping local and shopping at the, getting all my food from local restaurants and not using DoorDash and shit like that, of just going there and ordering it. I think, just after this is over, we want those places to still be open and still be thriving in our neighborhood.
I feel a little weird about like I know people who are just like, yeah, I'm locked in my house and I've only done delivery and this and that. And I'm like, it's one thing to outsource like effort, but like outsourcing risk to other people feels like super dystopian.
For $3
right?
deliveries, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so I'm gonna pay, like, instead of me going to the grocery store, I'm gonna pay some Instacart worker who makes jack shit to go get coronavirus on my behalf. Like,
I brought that up. I forgot where I brought it up. I think it was with my wife, but I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, well, that's not cool. You're sending someone out to do your dirty work for you. And if you think about it through that perspective, yeah, you're right. And they are taking a risk, and for that, I think they should be compensated for it.
Absolutely.
Also, if there's one Instacart worker for every 10 people that would have gone to a grocery store, they're helping to, mitigate the spread. basically.
It's less
They're-
people shopping.
But they are putting themselves at risk, and that is definitely something they should be compensated for. But if you think about it in the way that 10 people per worker aren't going to the store, that's kind of a good thing too. That's because that's the whole point of everyone staying home. I mean, I have to go to work. Greg has to go to work. Jason has to go to work. Nothing's going to stop that. Like, we're essential people, and these delivery companies, they're essential as well, especially right now. So we are risking ourselves going out into the public. And I could see what you're saying, Jason. Being lazy and having Instacart bring everything to you, that's one thing. But if you think about it the other way, it does make sense.
I'm cracking another beer.
Yeah, I need to rinse my glass. I'll be right back, gents.
All right.
You didn't plan ahead, did you, Jason?
It got full of those poops.
That's so funny. My poops. I got poops in my glass. But I just opened up that Parabola is probably my desert island beer, right? I mean,
I didn't know that. No.
It's such a perfect beer. So I got they have a variant. It's cacao nut. It's like coconut with cacao in it. Cacao nut Parabola.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a 2020 variant. $9.99 for the bottle. I mean, are you kidding me? For this amazing beverage.
Cool.
It's so good. I had one last night, and holy smoke, it's good.
Is this new?
Yep.
Okay.
It's right in the store. You just pick it up. They'll deliver it right to your little house.
Yeah, I went to La Bodega yesterday to buy beers for the show today, and this kind of goes with the theme we were talking about with the different ways to acquire beer from tasting rooms, and they're taking this very seriously. They shut down actually for a week when things were still kind of unclear with the governor's order. Mm-hmm. And they were doing phone orders, which I don't know how that would work with a liquor store, because it's not like a brewery where you have 20 different selections you can choose from. Like, it's a liquor store that has hundreds and hundreds of different things.
Right.
So you have to be very specific of what you're wanting to purchase. Like, when I went there, a dude was walking out with a bottle of tequila shaped like a machine gun. And I'm just like, how do you order that on the phone? So
dude's like, whales, bro.
They changed, when the governor said, like, yeah, liquor stores can remain open. Basically, they have a line out of the store at all times that is separated by 6 feet. And one of the employees is opening and closing the door, so you don't have to touch the door.
That's nice.
They're sanitizing the baskets, as you're coming and going. And you still have to touch the doors and stuff. And, they're not going to do everything for you. But there was maybe 15 people in the store. And if you've ever been there, it's not a huge liquor store, but it's not small. I don't know. 15 people is not a lot for La Bodega.
Sure.
So I was happy to see that. Like, they're taking it seriously. They had plexiglass set up in front of the cash register. You had to have a mask on to enter the store, which I got to thinking, they're trying to churn people out as quickly as possible. So ring it up, pay out. Like, not that I am encouraging this, but if you were underage and you wanted to buy a 12-pack of Coors Light,
right,
now is the perfect time, because you have to wear a mask, and they're not going to card you.
They can card you and have you pull it down just for
sure. But I'm just saying, the vibe inside the place was hurry up, get in, get out. Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. So I'm just
right.
I'm
just wait until some state senator says the same thing, and now we have shitty alcohol laws for the rest of forever.
Yeah. I mean, Scott Windsor just opened up a second location in Anaheim, right outside of Bottle Logic, and he just started. He has this amazing bottle collection for sale, and he's doing delivery as well. So I think once or twice a week. He does like a North Orange County run and a South Orange County run. You order it all online and he just delivers it to your house.
Did someone say Bottle Logic?
I did. Segue.
Yeah, charisma check. Rolled nat 20s on the charisma check. Boom. West Coast IPA from Bots Logs.
So what is a charisma check in video game terminology.
It's D&D thing, right? So if you look at the thing, it's got a 20-sided die.
Yeah, it's got a 20-sided die.
Rolled, all of them rolled on a 20. Charisma is one of your core attributes in D&D, right? So you have like your 6 core attributes that you'll apply to different stuff. So strength, constitution, charisma, dexterity, wisdom, intelligence. I think that was all of them. I don't know. And so based on whatever it is you're doing, the DM will be like, okay, yeah, you're trying to seduce a waitress at the bar. Well, roll charisma. What'd you get? And they're like, I got a 20 with my +4 bonus and the 24. 24, well, that'll make a seduction roll or whatever.
Nice.
Because that's all what you're using charisma for. Like, if there's any girls there, I want to do them.
That was a very good explanation. I've never played D&D, and yeah, apparently Jason has.
That's why I asked him.
Well, we play Pathfinder, but yeah, that's even more how you know a tabletop game where they're like, well, actually, it's not Dungeons and Dragons at all. The GURPS system has far superior mechanics to the original D&D.
The GURP.
The thing, tabletop gamers will know.
All right.
Where my tabletoppers at?
So
I mean, is that a LARP thing too?
Could
Can
be.
you apply those to LARPing?
I don't know much about LARPing.
Mighty
but
Blow.
I think it's just D&D except for with like simplified rules.
What do you got, John?
So I moved on to a beer from Indie Brewing Company out of LA, and it's called Connecticut Casual. If you look at the can for this beer, what struck me about this was it kind of looks like an other half beer.
Oh, totally.
So Connecticut Casual, it's a hazy IPA, 8% alcohol by volume. And it's very good. I don't think maybe I've had it at beer festivals, but I don't remember having a whole lot from Indie at all.
I've never been.
And this is an excellent beer. Like,
it's a hazy boy.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, it's a hazy IPA, and as long as it's not that super murky looking deal, you're good to go. Smells great, really good mouthfeel, and again, it's got all of the positive characteristics
Checks
you
the
want
boxes
from a hazy.
Very cool.
And Greg, Jason, if you missed it, Greg was drinking.
I got my cacao nut parabola.
Cacao nut,
which is kind of like I said, if you put this beer in front of me blind, there's no way I would pick out coconut, because I think regular parabola has sort of a coconutty note anyways that is sort of a tribute to the bourbon barrel. This sort of just enhances it slightly. But there's a big chocolatey, it's super chocolatey and rich, with just like just a whiff of some coconut on there.
It says on Untapped that it was aged for over a year in retired bourbon barrels with both cacao nibs and toasted coconut. And it also says this 2020 variant is the first and likely the last of the rare parabola variant. The rare parabola variant?
Dude, I'm going to order more because it is so good.
What is the rare parabola variant? Like,
they're doing the Parabola Java. They did what were the other variants that they've done? There's a bunch of different variants of parabola that are just barrel treatments.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Think of
because they're still brewing. They're still brewing parabola. Obviously, it's a blending beer, but the rare variants are the ones that have been basically messed with and tweaked. So, okay, that makes sense.
And I love the 12-ounce format. Like, dude, you can dome a bottle and still be like, all right, I'm ready to go. It's super decadent. And like I said, the price is right for $10. That's so great. And I think I saw Matt Brynoldson's like sequestered in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that too. I forgot where, but I saw it was I think I saw it on a tweet and it had a location. And
dude, you can't get home.
It was like, oh, maybe he's just stuck, or like he was hanging with like a brewing homie, and they're like, yo, just stay at my house for the next month. And he's like, okay. I mean, he has a family and stuff, but
I think they're with him.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
You generally do include your family when you do stuff.
Well, I don't know if it
Yeah.
was a work thing or what,
That is
and he
fucking
just got stuck there. So,
We should try and have him on the show one of these times. I'm sure he'd do it now. Probably just sitting around bored,
well, since everyone's so used to talking
zooming.
to a video camera online, like there's less friction there. So you'd probably be right.
Do you think they're gonna really try to get more traction on calling the youth Zoomers now because now they go to school and do everything else on Zoom?
Zoomers.
That was a thing.
People have been calling the generation after millennials Zoomers. I've heard that one as a thing. I think
That's
it's one of those names that they're working on. It hasn't really stuck. But like this was before this whole thing. I was like, now it kind of adds credence to the Zoomer name.
It makes sense. Works with the whole boomer thing. And then 50 years from now, the next couple generations can say, okay, Zoomer,
Yeah, like my kid she's going to online class and my wife is teaching online class. Like they haven't left the house. And she's actually my daughter's had a doctor's appointment over Zoom, which is kind of cool. They're like, yeah, just tell me your symptoms and blah, blah, blah. And all right, there's your prescription.
Our grandkids are going to be like, imagine getting in front of a computer and a camera instead of just having memories streamed by AI into your frontal lobe. Oh, man.
Yeah, my wife, we got married, and so she she had to get a different psychiatrist. I call it. I don't know. She takes depression medication, and it was her first visit, and it was also online, and it was super easy. And it's like, again, with the beer, like everything that's happening online, it's like, turns out it's a lot easier to get shit done. You don't have to actually interact with people in person. You can just,
weed doctors were way ahead of the curve on that shit.
There you go.
No doubt. I think I don't want to get robbed, so here's my online thing.
Or just a guy runs a business on the internet for the whole state, and he's just like, yeah, you're anxious? Yeah, okay. Here you go. Here's your rec.
I think another hopefully good thing to come out of this whole thing is once Congress, can settle down and get back to doing business as usual, and hopefully when elections happen, we get a Congress that actually wants to get stuff done that's good for people. They can realize that the internet is definitely part of our infrastructure, and it's a utility at this point. It's something
of tubes.
It's something that we need, and
it's not just like a big truck that you can dump things in.
It's something that everyone in America should have access to
as a right. Yeah.
I'm not saying the government should give everyone a smartphone or a computer, but they should at least have the infrastructure in place to access the internet, and it should be,
I think,
every American competitively. It should be something that if you're in poverty, you can still access the internet, and we're seeing that now with kids that maybe they're getting a computer provided to them by their school, and that's cool. But if you have no high-speed internet, like it's difficult to get in on these Zoom conferences where you're trying to be a part of a classroom. It's just assuming these families have access to high-speed internet, and depending on where you're at, you might not have that, and then you're just screwed. So I hope this is another thing that gets the ball rolling to kind of reverse what Ajit Pai, whatever his name is, the current head commissioner of the FCC, basically reversed when he said, no, it's not a Title II utility, basically. And because it's totally something I've been fighting for 10 years. And it's so important that the internet is open and accessible to everyone. And I just hope that that's another thing that comes out of this whole thing.
And everyone should get a free Xbox.
That's
not the Pro one.
At all.
A regular one, not a Pro one.
A 1S.
Yeah. 1S. A basic one with a wired controller. If you want wireless, you need to go get a job.
Oh my God, you guys. I just threw away my original Xbox. It was somewhere in one of my closets, and it had like a bunch of games and stuff and the controllers. I was like, oh
based
my God.
on the size of the original Xbox, I believe that is where you were camping over this last weekend because the Xbox is huge.
It is. It was very large.
I'm dusting off those 2000 era jokes about the Xbox being a gigantic console.
Doom is dark and Xbox is large.
Yeah.
Speaking of Xbox and video games, I know Jason said he was playing a lot of the Division 2, Greg, I know, has been working on his, well, I don't know, his world in Minecraft. I don't know.
I've never actually beaten the dragon in Minecraft, and I set a goal for this whole pandemic and was like, I just want to do that.
So
And,
I usually do that in private when I'm like, I feel like beating the dragon is something you don't want to share with everybody else.
I want to whoop the dragon with my sword.
This is something I actually wanted to talk about really quick as a noob to Minecraft. Just before I get into that, I'm going to ask Greg. I got into Animal Crossing New Horizons, which everyone in the world seems to be into at the moment.
Same.
I originally wasn't going to buy that game because I have zero interest in Animal Crossing. I played AC Pocket Camp on iOS, and it's hot garbage. But I don't know, I think it came out on a Friday. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it. Screw it. We'll see what happens. Next day I started playing it. I think I played it for 8 hours that next Saturday. I was extremely hungover, and like I was so hungover that when you first start playing the game, there's a lot of stuff you have to read and like little chat bubbles from the characters. And I was playing it laying on the couch, and my eyes were going right to left so often that I felt nauseous. And I'm like, I have to stop playing. So I took a break and like came back.
My Animal Crossing
I feel like that was like one of the first weekends in quarantine, and Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing came out, and everyone divided into factions. I did buy Doom Eternal, and I played it for like an hour, and I'm like, no, not feeling it. And I should have known because I didn't love the last one, and it's the same game.
I bought Doom for Switch, whatever the last Doom was. And I got to a point where I couldn't get past a certain point, and I was so frustrated that I just gave up. And that's usually what happens with video games. Like when I was playing Breath of the Wild, I couldn't get past one of the divine beasts, and I was like, you know what? This is more frustrating than it is fun. I'm not going to play anymore. I can always go back to it, but I that's the one thing that keeps me from finishing video games is I get frustrated and I don't want to keep progressing. But with Animal Crossing, I mean, it's a basic game. I think it's Minecraft light, like light. But it basically lets you dip your toe in the water of what Minecraft is like, where you can, once you get past the actual story and like the game part of Animal Crossing, then you get into like world development and terraforming and making your island whatever you want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to grind for certain things. There's still certain achievements you have to get. They have events. And considering it's to date Nintendo's most popular video game ever, like Nintendo is on it. Like it's received 4 or 5 different software updates to address issues.
They got money behind it for sure.
So what you're saying is once you've mastered Animal Crossing, then Greg or myself can refer you to a 12-year-old that we know to teach you Minecraft.
Well, that's Or how old are you, Greg? 47?
I just turned 49.
49? You look 47.
I'm a San Francisco native now. 49.
Explain for anyone who doesn't know, which would, I guess, just be me. Like Minecraft, we know what it is. Like you basically mine and craft things to do things. But what's like the goal of the game?
The goal of the game is you can build whatever you want. So it's sort of like Legos. It's like
if you're on survival mode, like what's the point of being in survival mode? I know what the point of being in the other mode where you can just build whatever you want, but like what's the story of Minecraft?
Like my goal every day, like I'm in the mid game right now where I'm trying to get enough experience to enchant all of my weapons to a point where I can go through some of the higher level stuff and sort of do loots and stuff like that without just dying. I'm playing on normal as well, so
but what's the point of the game aside from building things? Like, is there an underlying story
it's
that
like a
you can say
fantasy
you beat
thing
Minecraft?
With a dragon? Yeah, there's like a dragon at the end that you can slay, and there's different you can get maps and find different treasures and stuff like that are super difficult.
The only way to beat Minecraft is to make a 1-to-1 scale replica of the Starship Enterprise within game, and then you win.
There's not rules per se, but I would say if you're going to play Minecraft story, like you want to slay the dragon at the end.
Okay,
And,
and that involves going through like a portal or something, or
Yeah, another portal, and there's all kinds of different portals that you can in an in-game portal.
I forgot to talk about this beer, but it was really good. It was nice having like a nice bright West Coast to cleanse after that chunky hazy boy.
Now, what I like about Minecraft is that it's relaxing. Like, I'm playing a lot of Battlefield 5, and I got the new Call of Duty as well on sale on Blizzard store on Battle.net.
Shameful
like
Greg
$40.
doesn't want to admit he plays Division with me.
Oh, I play Division 2 quite a bit, actually. So that's sort of like my main, and then Minecraft's like my side gal, and then Call of Duty's like all right, I'm bored of everything. I went through the single player of that last week. Had a good time doing that. That's super realistic and just kind of crazy.
Dude, I picked up the new Tomb Raider on sale like a month ago, and I haven't even cracked it open yet.
There's a new one? Wow. I haven't played any of those.
Like a year ago, but it's the newest one. I just wait till they're under $20 because I'm not going to pay $60.
Yeah, what I like about Minecraft though is just that it's relaxing. I'm sure you feel relaxed when you're playing Animal Crossing 2 Degree. It's like it's got nice sort of chill music, and it's sort of like a day-to-day grind that you go through to kind of enjoy it. I don't know. It's just it's fun.
no, that's exactly how Animal Crossing is. My point with the thing with Minecraft is,
can we change the name of our stream on Twitch to Elders React to Video Games?
my point is, like, I have to get into a game and then get immersed in the game, and that kind of happened with Animal Crossing by accident. And it was a lot easier to do that with the game. I've since technically beat the game, quote unquote. I get to win the game, you have to have KK Slider, this dog who's a musician, come perform on your island, and that means your island has at least a 3-star rating. And then the goal after that is to get a 5-star island, which I got. And then once you get a 5-star island, that's essentially beating the game. And then after that, it's a bunch of, again, like I said, terraforming, grinding, and doing other fun things. So, Jason, what'd you open?
I opened a Hanamachi from Bottle Logic. I think
One of my
Hanamachi.
favorite beers of all time.
I think it's Let's Have Some Beer in the chat. Name checked that one earlier, and I'm like, foreshadowing. I'm a little worried because the Crowler felt like it felt
softy.
Yeah, it was
Squishy.
soft. It was not tight.
So what's the verdict? It was soft, not tight.
Yeah. Let's
Ooh,
see.
I got
flat.
I have something that's exciting. I had an article come out on craftbeer.com this week.
Oh, yeah?
So if you head over to craftbeer.com and search for Greg Nagel, you'll find it. It's on some of the small brew pubs here in Orange County, and one of them was Bottle Logic with their little Epicurean One food truck that they have from Chef Patrick Whitaker. That's an employee there. And I happened to mention Hanamachi because they had a bowl of like a tonkatsu style shrimp dish that they were serving that week, and I paired it with that, and I was like, man, this is just the most bizarre meal I've ever had at a brewery, but it was the most delicious and like inspiring thing I've ever done. It was really cool. Check it out.
I think I didn't even think about you in this whole lockdown situation, but like basically you as a beer lifestyle writer, your job is to go to places and
I'm not doing anything right now.
Eat food and drink beer and then write about it.
Like, you can only write one article about like getting beer delivered is great. It's
like, okay. I haven't done any of it.
And now what?
I told my editor, I'm like, dude, I'm working 60-hour weeks. Enough's enough. I don't have time to write about like whatever. I did start a food group for my local area called Anaheim Loves Food, and got over 600 followers in the first week, which is pretty dope.
That's cool.
And we're featuring a local restaurant or whatever. We're doing like restaurant takeovers, like on a Thursday night and a Saturday, where we're going here's the place, here's the menu, here's how to order, and everybody's encouraged to order from that place. And it's been super successful. Really didn't think it would take off how well it did, but it's pretty rad.
I didn't know you started that because I saw that, and
it's me.
Yeah, interesting. Damn, Greg, you have like a presence on the internet. It seems.
You can tell when you hear it, and you just hear that whisper of like, "I'm okay."
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I do have good support of moderators in the local area that helped me start it. It wasn't my idea all the way, obviously, but I was like, yeah, I'll start it. We'll get it off the ground, and boom, like 100 new people every day want to join it. Sweet.
Hey, I'm gonna make a complete left turn. Have you noticed that I feel like when I'm watching, they're doing all these Zoom call like chat shows now, right? Like all the like talk shows and shit. They're doing basically what we're doing, right? But you'll see, and they'll have like perfect, clear video quality, and then these random hitch frames and stuff. And I'm like, they added those in. Like they're having these, like it's like they're adding in quality problems to make it look more like video conference.
It's funny you said that.
They're all those like small cameras. What do you call those? The action camera things.
The GoPro?
Handheld GoPro. You can tell they're all shot on GoPro based on how wide
what I'm
angle
seeing though, so like, okay, if your internet quality is dodgy, it'll start lowering your quality, right? You'll start getting more grainy and stuff like that, and then you'll start dropping frames, right? Yeah. And what you're seeing, this is just me being a tech geek, but like you'll see a perfect high quality video stream, and then randomly like just frames will drop. And it looks like too perfect. It feels like they just added it in to be like, make it more Skypey.
I see what you're saying about that. I've seen that too. This is kind of on a side to that. The band Korn released they did like this live they did a show back in September for their new album that came out, The Nothing, I think it's called. And it was this, not getting into the show, but it was like this like a film set that all the walls were painted black, and they had all this weird shit happening. It's Korn. They do weird shit. And they decided to release this video for, the lockdown situation that we're in. And so all the guys basically recorded, they had like a list of questions, and in between the songs, they talked about things, but they recorded it with their phones, and they went out of their way to make it look like shit. Like I'll give them credit though. It matched like the whole vibe of the concert and like the dirtiness and weirdness of it.
Just like the bed, it sucked ass.
It was just like
I never follow.
In the end, like
Hi.
In the end, like it looked good for what they made as a YouTube video. But I was just like, wow, this is just like over the top processed. And on a separate note, talking about songs, they played songs like old songs from back in the day that they're just playing completely different now. Like basically the only thing that's the same is the basic melody and the lyrics. Where I was listening to the song, I'm like, oh, that's that song. Like they just revamped everything, because if you listen to Korn from whatever 97 to now, like they're a completely different band.
I bought one of the records, yeah.
And now they're taking their old songs and making them sound like new Korn songs.
They were an Orange County band.
Lowe's? No, they're from Bakersfield, like famously.
Yeah. One of them lived in like Laguna area.
I think it was their drummer.
Yeah.
But she's no longer in the band.
Restaurants. Have you seen that Geico commercial with the when Rat is playing in their kitchen? Oh my God. No. They're like, yeah, we have rats in our house. And like, it's like the band Rat.
I don't really see commercials. I pay for YouTube, and
this is on Sling. We have Sling.
Yeah, I have YouTube TV, but I DVR everything, so I just skip. Yeah.
I think YouTube Premium is my number one all-time favorite like purchase.
It is so weird that nobody talks about it. It's so worth $10 a month. I pay $8 a month to get Google Music All Access and commercial-free YouTube. I don't even care if I've never watched Cobra Kai or any of those shows just to not have commercials on YouTube. It's worth it. I
haven't watched them either, but I heard Cobra Kai was good, and knowing that it's there makes me happy because I can watch it anytime I want.
Did you guys see that Travis Scott concert in Fortnite? That was kind of fun.
I heard about it, but no, I didn't see it.
It was like a big in-game event, and it was like a 10-minute like concert that like moved to all sorts of different worlds and stuff. It's pretty cool, actually. I don't know. Again, elders react to things kids like.
I listened to a podcast.
Yeah, that was last week, Grandpa.
I listened to a podcast called Nintendo Dispatch, and they talked about it on there, and it sounded cool. Like you were, like you said, Jason, taken to different worlds, and it was like basically you're you were kind of interacting with things, but you were taken on like this ride kind of thing. And because who's the other guy that did a concert? Marshmello, I think.
Yeah.
What a
that
good
was
idea,
basic-
though.
Huh?
So, but that's such a great idea to do a
Yeah,
in-game.
but that was
concert.
basically everyone shows up at the same time and you watch a concert. Where this was like your own individual experience, from what I
Oh, that's
gathered.
rad.
I
If you
played
look it
Fortnite
up-
for a total of 20 minutes and was like, "This is not the game for me," and that's it.
I don't love the
Yeah,
game, but you
Fortnite's-
can watch the video of the event. It was pretty cool what they did. Like they clearly put a lot of effort into it. It wasn't just like we made a Travis Scott skin and he came in and we hit play and the song played and everyone did slash dance or whatever, right? Like that's what you would expect it to be, right? Where they're just like, we made an in-game stage and here he is and he did a dance animation and here are the hits. But it was actually pretty cool.
Fortnite has done more for like the dancing arts than any other video game. Like every little kid that plays it is such like, they're like, check out my moves that I can actually do in real life because that's what my character does.
That's
Like,
what
it's kind of
TikTok
funny.
is now, right? You just like, I feel like I can't post on TikTok because I can't dance.
And, yeah,
I gotta learn to dance.
I have a TikTok account and I have posted and I was not dancing. So it's
Elders
possible.
react to TikTok.
Stop calling me a fucking elder.
Oh dear
I'm
God.
only
man.
40. I'm only 40.
Oh my
I
God.
guarantee you, if
We're
we
the
ask
40 brewers.
if you ask a 12-year-old, they think we're boomers.
No doubt.
In May, I'm going to be
Gen
40.
X, bro.
In May, I'm going to be 40 wonderful. So,
40 wonderful.
all right.
I'm still-
Dude.
I opened one more beer, which this might be a bad idea, but I brought 3. This is Study Break from Bottle Logic. So Bottle Logic getting some heavy time
Rotation.
on the show. This is an imperial stout made with lactose, cacao nibs, and peanuts, which I'm assuming they're using that peanut powder because if you use actual peanuts, they're so oily that it's going to kill all your head retention. And this has pretty decent head retention
Yeah,
for
get a nice finger there.
what this is. Yeah, it's thin, but you know, it's a thing.
Could be a liquid extract as well.
I stopped buying these special releases from Bottle Logic probably 6-7 months ago. And so I think a lot of that hype has died down a bit to where we're seeing them at local liquor stores like La Bodega. So that's really awesome.
So yeah, I chose Bottle Logic only because I had some stuff from Rip I wanted to show off and stuff from Beechwood, but they're 32-ounce crowlers of like 8-9% double IPAs, and it's early for that.
I think another thing this is going to cause breweries to do is maybe, get crowler machines that can do both 16 ounce and 32 that are adaptable, because I'd much rather buy 5 or 6 16-ounce crowlers than any 32.
A 16-ounce crowler, I would just call a can.
I was
Well,
at a
yeah.
brewery that had 22-ounce crowlers. They had mead as well. So
Were they glass and they had a capping machine?
No, it was a can.
They've got ththese
Yeah,
glass
22s.
crowlers. They're big and
They were
brown.
19s,
Like
maybe. But
I saw
yeah, go
one
ahead.
of the I think when Nicole was here tasting niche, some breweries in Portland are getting those Monster Energy drink style crowlers where it's like I think it's a 20-ounce can, but it's got the big like screw off cap.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
we
like the
saw that
size
at
of a silver
we
dollar.
saw them at Craft Beer Summit. They were trying to they had a booth. They were selling those.
Yeah, I've seen wineries, Erosion Winery, which is Patrick Rue's new thing up there in Northern California. He's doing sales of those online where you can get a crowler of his wine, which
Because you can seal them by hand, right? That's the big
Mhm.
appeal. You don't need a $5,000 can seamer. You can just seal it with your hand and then use like a heat gun
And a
to shrink
kiss of
wrap
love.
it or something. Yeah.
I'd be like, "Mwah, there you go.
I think that's cool because I have had those, Monster Energy drinks with those resealable lids, and it's nice. And when you reseal it, it does reseal and it will maintain carbonation. I think it's a good idea, and it's better than opening like Jason said, a big 32-ounce Crowler. That's a commitment, and I don't
Unless
want
you got a bro.
to.
You need bros.
Yeah, well, if you got bros, then you're good to go. But if you don't have bros like me, then you're not good to go.
This sounds like we sound like Letterkenny right now. You got bros, you're good to go. You need a bro for that.
Take some saran wrap over the top. I think it'll last until tomorrow.
No bros, no go.
I have a beer gun that I can top CO2 off and stuff if I have to. Just seal it up, saran wrap and a rubber band. Done.
Oh, this beer is good. Wow. So if you look at the can on this, it's got basically things that look like candy bars, like Snicker bars, and
that's very I like the negative space on it. It's reminiscent of our boys over at Brewery West, like where they're using the can space to make the art pop.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's similar to that. Technically, it does have a silver background, but it blends in well with the can. Yeah. But the Snickers bar, it kind of tastes like a Snickers bar. That's really good. It's 10% alcohol.
Does it satisfy? At least it's not fun size. That looks like a huge pour.
It's really good. Wow.
That's why
you stand out really
that's
well.
why my flex beer was Hanamachi. It's a 5% rice lager, perfect for 2 p.m.
Honestly,
and it's also not flat.
beers.
It's really good. This is a really good beer.
Aside from these Firestone ones, I've been sticking to lagers as much as possible.
That Firestone life hack, I'm totally gonna get on board with that.
Oh man,
just
so good.
that is a good one. I'm gonna order it. Like, dude, just Pivo, and the girlfriend's like favorite beer is Union Jack. So I can get fresh Union
I don't know
Jack.
if they had that.
I swear to God, if they don't have Union Jack, I swear to fucking God,
Jason's gonna protest. He's gonna go to Paso and just protest.
Jack and some other one.
I'm gonna go out front of the brewery and just be like, open up the Union Jack. The state of the Union Jack is bad.
Just buy your $100 worth, no matter what, and you'll be happy with your purchase. Because goddamn, they're seriously Firestone Walker's like probably one of the best breweries aside from maybe Russian River. They're in the top. They're in my top 3 breweries of all time. Like if I had to drink one brewery's beer for the rest of my life, I think Firestone Walker would be up there. Russian River maybe a close second. Yeah, I mean the quality is just unmatched, and
you're right. They don't have Union Jack. This is
I didn't see it on there.
Travesty. It's like goddamn. Hold on. You know what? The world needs to see this. So
write them a strongly worded letter.
It's not like they're going to see it on the podcast.
Or will they? Oh wait, yeah, that's audio.
Well, you can read it.
No, look at this nonsense. It's just like a bunch of Barrelworks beers. That's cool. But yeah, man, the only 6-pack beer is the German Helles, the Pilsner, Rosalie, and Easy Jack. Maybe I want something over
Pivo, bro. $10.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do it now.
10 6-packs of Pivo. And
so it looks to me like they're just sending the canned beer, because as far as I know, Union Jack isn't canned yet.
All the Barrelworks are bottles.
I've had a can
but the Barrelworks beers are in boxes, no?
No, they shipped them like wrapped in like bubble wrap. And
well, I don't know then. Okay, maybe because they're one-offs, like that's why they're willing to do that. But like Union Jack, are they going to take a 6-pack of Union Jack and individually wrap them in bubble wrap?
They didn't bubble wrap the Pivos. They were just like in the box with the bottles.
The Pivos were canned or bottled?
They're canned, yeah. They're 6-pack cans.
There you go.
Chat calling out, they're like, I bet they have Flyjack, but they don't. They don't have Flyjack. They don't have Flapjack. They do have Easy Jack.
Now, it changes every week, so just check back.
All right. Because, I'd order a Creaky Bones if I could also get some Union Jack.
Yeah, I also had Blue Love, which is it's a sour blueberry ale. Oh man, it's so good. I've had all kinds of their beers, man. We're spoiled in good beer right now.
Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, it sucks because the reason that it's all available is because nobody's buying it, right? So the breweries are kind of in struggle bus, but it's been really cool to be like, yeah, you can get a Cellar Maker mixed case shipped to your house. I'm like, sick. I don't normally have the bandwidth to drive to San Francisco.
I think that's what we should do for our next show is find a brewery, and then we all purchase on our own a set beer list, and then we'll do that on the show. I think let's try that.
We could possibly try that. Again, it's a matter of basically picking beers that we know are easily accessible for all of us. So,
he's talking about someone who ships. We all go to their website. We all
order it all at the same time. We all get it delivered, and then we'll do a show on it.
Got it. Okay.
And then if we don't like it, we have an extra case of it all.
But Cellar Maker, let's be honest, they're like the Green Sheik of the North.
Yeah, they sold out in an hour though. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Fun fact, cellarmaker.com is not the brewery.
Overall, I think this this new format worked pretty well, I guess I should say. We're going to be doing this, I think, once a week from here on out because our normal format is to meet at my house, record 4 episodes, and you get fourth show kind of thing. Sometimes third show, sometimes second show. And there's no reason to do that since we don't have to meet at my house. So we're going to do this once a week. And,
we just need a pregame to get that, pre-lube happening.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone for understanding, especially since I released my video last week. I got a lot of people responding to that saying it's cool. Do what you got to do. Cause I basically checked out for a month and didn't do anything but play Animal Crossing and go to work. So
beautiful life.
I don't want this to be the normal for our show. Like one day we will be back in my studio and we're going to, do the same show we did before. But for now, I think
once Gavin Newsom reopens our show.
So yeah, I think this is going to go pretty well for the next couple of months anyway. So yeah, thank you to everyone for hanging out in the live stream. I maybe will hang out for a bit longer. We'll see. If you want to tune in next week, again, if you're listening to the podcast of this, we're going to do this every Saturday, and maybe we'll have guests. We don't know. We're still trying to feel this out and figure out what we're doing. But
we should get a guest.
We should. It's easy, right?
I mean, just be like, hey, can you click this link on Saturday from your home? And they're like, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we're going to do. We've got possibilities. We've got the means to do it. And everyone's used to talking over the internet now. So it's not like this foreign thing anymore. So
sounds good, man.
All right.
Nice hanging out.
I'm going to do my Patreon ending real quick. So give me a second.
Real quick aside, Cellar Maker has a mixed case right now for $112 where you get kind of do. I sent it to Discord. I'm kind of going to buy it whether you guys do or not, but
all right, I'm doing the Patreon thing. So as always, on the first episode of our session, we give a shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon. So here we go. Thank you to Josh Pesme, our newest Patreon, Matthew Byrne, Marmot, Whale Testicle, Matt Latman, Jesse Einhart, Scott Recky, Ron Kupka, OC Brew Girl, Mary Jane, Chris Wolowski, Greg Bard, Scott Nigro, Melissa Bartholomew, Sam Sabuki. I'll never get your name right. I'm sorry, Sam. Grant Meyer Wallace, I think it's truncating your name on my screen, so I'm sorry. Michael Tardowski, Alex Nunez, Lauren, Tim Smith, the Indie Beer Show, which, by the way, if you listen to the Indie Beer Show, they have also adapted to this new environment of recording online because they always record inside of a brewery. So it's interesting, and they're still doing it. So give them a listen. Thank you to Danny Aoun, Matthew McGee, Jamie Yoder, Tony Castaneda, Nick Putty, Matthew Lightgrove, Justin Islander, Nick Krentz, Aaron Champion, Eric C., Brian Onduto, Jay Price, Alex Dress, Steve Toomey, Sandro Chiavaro, Robert Perry, Pulver, John Ridey, Chris Horn, Robert French, Carlos Granillo, James Nichols, Kevin Foote, Brad Denbo, David Jones, Steve Mriscoll, Andriana, Patrick Flanagan, and Christopher Barnes. Shout out to
Kippy.
LA Aleworks. So thank you. All right, we did it, guys.
While you were doing that, me and Greg ordered that case of Cellar Maker beer.
Done.
Oh, is there a link?
Yeah, it's in the Discord.
Purchase 138.20.
So I guess this is our next show.
Dude, 12 cans of New Zealand Nelson Sauvin Cellar Maker beer. Oh my god, yeah. Like,
you kidding me?
All right, I'm gonna order it on my phone right now.
Just tell Timero.
all right.
Someone at Tim in the chat so he knows.
We're done, right? So I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah, you can stop recording.
Okay, good.
Save project as.
Don't fuck it up, Jason.
Export as. Do you have a format you particularly care about? Do I want it?
It'll probably export as a wave.
I can do wave, MP3 wave, or on.
Okay, so they adapted to the new MP3 thing. Just do MP3.
All right.
Don't listen to me.
Wave is going to be way too big of a file to upload. So,
want me to save it to MP3?
Yeah, MP3 is fine.
I feel like the people on Twitch are really glad they're here for this.
This is post show, man.
This is the real shit. The
what format? 192 is good.
It's 192.
I can go to 320.
192 is fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Constant. Yep. Boom. And copy. Good. All right.
I'm gonna set up a Dropbox folder. Give me a second.
It's gonna be lossy.
Oh, it's so lossy. So
hello, Lassie. Hello, Lassie. I'm gonna open my door because holy shit, this room's hot.
Yeah, I gotta turn that fan back on. the computer and the door shut in here, it gets warm. What are you brewing? Let's have some beer.
Can you guys edit your file names to have your name in them somehow?
Yeah. It has today's date even too, John.
Cool.
Where's the Dropbox link in the Discord?
No, I'm making a...
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
I'll drop it right into your box, John. Belgian wit, pro move. Don't have to spend a ton of money on hops.
Now the dogs start barking. I like it.
And better now than before.
For Brewers.mp3. Let me change it to Greg.
For Brewers. Yum.
Chappa. Oh, asshole. God damn that parabola.
It took a lot longer than I would think to export as MP3, considering how beefy of a processor I have.
It's because generally they just use one core. Marco Arment from the Accidental Tech podcast, his app Forecast, he made specifically to use all the cores available on your computer. And if I put an 1.5 hour long wave file in his app, which is like 600 or 700 megabytes, it crunches it down to an MP3 in less than 5 seconds because it utilizes all the cores. And for some reason, most encoders just want to use one core. So
Way to not be multi-threaded, Audacity.
yeah, it sucks.
I want my money back. Oh, wait.
Mine was fast, but I used Audition.
All right. It's been.
All right, I'm
I
posting a
saved
link.
it. I saved it as a project. I exported an MP3 and a wave.
The link is in the private chat for the Dropbox folder.
I don't know if I would say rye IPA. I would consider old school West Coast because rye is very much that like you need the malt to balance your hops. I feel like that's more like your like old school Pacific Northwest or something.
So I tried to drag and drop into that folder, and it just played my file. Save to my Dropbox. Of course, it wants me to open up a account with them.
You shouldn't be Google Drive. All we can
You
do
guys
is
don't have Dropbox accounts?
all we can do is download. I can't upload to that folder.
What?
Yeah.
Hang on. Sorry.
I think I got it to work though. Let me see. There, I got mine to upload.
Oh, yeah, the wave recording is like 1.1 gigs, so we probably don't need all that.
No, just do MP3. 192 MP3 is fine.
Do you see my file in there?
No.
I had to do create new file. And then it uploaded. Members only me. Share with Dropbox. Man, why is this so confusing?
I don't know. This is my first time doing a shared folder.
I'll send you a link for my Google Drive. That'd be easy. Easy. Man, when you got fermentation happening in your room, there's so many fucking bugs. All the little gnats of the world. Oh, something's fermenting. You fly around your room. I thought I had a 4 Brewers folder.
There's no settings I can see for...
Look.
All right, maybe we'll try Google. Hang on.
Hey, Google. My link.
Okay, I made a folder.
Oh.
I just shared it with you guys, so check your email. It should work. Have you guys seen this from Pizza Port? Sidewalk surfing?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I was disappointed to find that Pizza Port didn't have anything special to go if you went to their locations. They only had their regular cans. I was like, oh, it'd be a good excuse to drive to San Clemente or something just to fucking get out. And they're just like, yeah, you can buy Swamis and like one other IPA or like our honey blonde.
That's weird.
All right. Mine's in the Google Drive.
I see it.
I shared access to my Google Drive for it, but I'll also put it into that.
Just put it in the folder just so it's organized. Yeah.
Just drop it in there, my man.
But my upload speed is slow. Oh, my Maddie Matheson cookbook just showed up. I'm excited about that.
Oh, Maddie's great.
Maddie's fucking hilarious.
Sounds great, Greg.
Yay.
Awesome.
John's gonna be like, Jason, you fucked up.
Nah, you'll be fine.
It's all.
I started listening to it when you started doing that noise, and I was like, oh man, it is fucked up. Oh man. Killing it, guys.
I'm gonna say,
killing it with this content.
This beer from Indy, this Connecticut Casual, really fucking good. If you see it, buy it. It's tasty. Very well made.
I don't think I see those in my local stores, so I don't know. Yeah, whip beer. Jeff's doing a whip beer.
Nice. He has a rye IPA on tap.
Old school. I like rye IPAs. Remember Rustic Rye from Bootleggers?
I do.
Remember
That's
Rustic Root setting you on your way?
That's the first beer I ever had from Bootleggers in can. No, it was in bottles. God, 10 years ago? 10? Yeah, I think 10 years ago. Tom Ham told me to try their beer, so I bought it from La Bodega, and it was infected. But I didn't know it because I didn't know what infected beer was. It was very tart. Yeah.
Berkeley Brewing Science. It's a yeast company that's creating a bunch of crazy new yeast. And they have one called Hop Creep Killa where there's no D. Huh.
Yeah, Eric Hoffer's hanging out in the YouTube chat. He said he's bottling a hoppy Pilsner tomorrow. He hit me up a couple days ago. If you don't remember Eric, he was the homebrewer we had on the show that basically he's the laziest homebrewer that makes really good beer.
Accidentally making good beer.
So, I mean, I told him, we're not recording in person, so you're going to have to wait a couple months. But if he wanted to send us all beers and then, join us on the show via, StreamYard, we could totally do that. But that would cost him some money. And I know he's a cheap dude, so he probably won't want to do that. But if he wanted to do it, we're down to do that.
Breweries, if you want to do that, because I know a lot of breweries are watching of the 8 people watching. So breweries, if you want to mail us beer and then talk to us about it, do it.
Dude, I listened to a Full Pint podcast, one of the recent ones, where they're going in deep about some of the breweries that are doing fire sales down in San Diego, half off everything.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it sucks. You can tell the breweries that are trying to make ends meet by doing shipping and like trying to be sustainable like that. And then there's the breweries that are just fire selling to get their shit out. Like AleSmith was doing half off everything. Any variant of any Speedway, half off, just get it the fuck out. Kegs, half off. Even like vintage kegs and stuff like that. Green Flash obviously is another one. Scary shit happening down there. And then if you tune in right now, I think the California Homebrew Fest has a live stream happening.
Oh, yeah? I thought that was yesterday. No, you posted it yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had Friday night with the pro brewers, and then they have Saturday with like speakers.
Yeah, Eric responded in the chat. He's like, "Thanks, John, but yeah, no."
I still trip out on homebrews that bottle. Like, hey, I'm gonna throw some priming sugar in and put it in a bottling bucket.
Yvonne is saying hello, guys. She's here with me.
I watched her streaming the other day. That was super funny.
Yeah, that was
hear.
like half-assed kind of thing we did. I bought that game. What's it called? Good Job. Yeah. And I got immediately frustrated with it, and Yvonne was like, "I'll play it." So that's what we did. And then she got frustrated with it Tuesday, I think. Yeah. Like she was fucking pissed.
If you have any other Switch recommendations for the kid, let me know. She's been playing horror games, which she's sort of into.
Here, let Yvonne tell you. What? Go to the Switch. Go get my Switch. It's on the dock out in front.
All right, son. Go out and cut me a Switch.
Yvonne has some recommendations, but she has to get my Switch. So
okay. Days, come here.
I'm pretty sure Mace Mall is joking, but I'm not sure. The virtual IE Beer Fest. We should all order that fucking Insane Clown Posse beer.
No, I think that's real, Jason.
Recommendation.
What?
Switch.
I think it's real. Like they were going to have an actual festival, and now they're doing it online. And if the graphic they're using looks like a computer generated like Hefeweizen glass, like with dots and lines and stuff.
Oh,
God.
mother of God! And they want $40. What do I?
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, there was one that just happened last weekend from the Rockstar Beer Festival people.
All right, so it's Friday night, May 15th.
There's
It has 10 beers.
3 of which are like Elysian.
That's actually for $40. 10 beers isn't that bad.
They're all IPAs and lagers, some seltzers.
It's gonna be Inland Empire Brewing beers, so it's gonna be the Insane Clown Posse beers, right?
funny thing about those beers, they don't say what the beers are on the can.
They do. They say Whoop Dub and.
You guys are on my speakers right now. Do you hear any feedback?
No.
I mean,
Okay.
I can't, but I don't have headphones on.
Cool.
Yeah, let's skip the cellar maker thing. Let's do something more budget oriented. And
What? I just bought it.
I did too.
I'm buying it right now. Should I not buy it?
As you should, yeah.
We already paid our money, so yeah, we're getting
Okay.
it. I'm joking that we should just buy Neat and Wet instead.
What should the kid also get on her Switch?
Yvonne. She's coming. Here.
I feel like I kind of want to do this beer. Yeah, what is this? It's a frothy Whoop Dub?
Honestly, I have no problems doing this beer and talking shit because Paul is no longer a part of that company. It's the dudes from the shit Ukaipa company, whatever their name was.
Brew Rebellion, right?
Yeah,
they're the
so
fucking worst.
If it sucks, I am down to buy their shitty beer and talk shit on it. And I have purchased a Cellar Maker beer.
Yay.
So we're good for the next show. Tim, if you're watching, buy the Cellar Maker beer. I think it's a link in the chat.
That
All
is
right,
an
Greg,
$8 can of a honey blonde, and they want for a 16-ounce single can, $8.
Honey blonde?
That's what it says. Handcrafted using 2-row barley, honey malt, Vienna, and Cascade. Honey-like flavor, amber color, light citrus, hop profile, and it's 4.5% alcohol by volume. So it's just a blonde, right?
Whoop Dub.
Come here, Yvonne.
It's horrible.
All right, I'll take Insane Clown Posse off the screen when Yvonne's here.
Hello. Hi.
Howdy.
Here, Days.
The game I was recommending is called Blossom Tales.
Have you heard of that?
It's very reminiscent of Zelda Link to the Past.
Okay.
It has like a same visuals. There's no Dark World, which is a bummer, but it has a lot of the same kind of mechanics of the game and like things that you can do, and it's really cute. It's a girl who's trying to save the kingdom. I forget why. I think people are asleep or something. I don't know.
So something Blossom.
Yeah, Blossom Tales.
Blossom Tales.
It's real cute.
Check it out.
And good job.
Thanks, Yvonne. Welp. Yeah, you can go.
Can I go now?
Yeah. Can I
Sorry,
go now?
Daisy.
I love
She
the
probably
kid.
can't hear me.
Like,
I love the kid move of scooting out of the room too. That's exactly just a kid thing to
I want to
do.
be on Twitch. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Mace Mall in the chat with his comment about the dude from Brew Rebellion at La Bodega. That makes sense. Like if you've seen that Amazon show that they somehow got on Amazon, the dude looks like typical IE.
Want to see something funny?
The head brewer of Brew Rebellion was at a
Here's my
party
download.
with a mutual friend, and he told my friend, "I could rape your girlfriend, and you couldn't do anything about it." And my friend had to leave to not beat his ass.
Oh,
Yep,
God.
sounds right.
Yeah,
Empire.
Yeah. Fuck Brew Rebellion.
It really sucks that they took over Inland Empire Brewing because I think Paul's a good dude. And the beers he made, were decent, I think, at best. And I would tell him that to his face. But the Brew Rebellion guys taking over, that sucks because they're, again, stereotypical, i.e.
They're the guys who had the beer that was dipped in like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. They've never met a gimmick they don't like because they suck ass, so nobody buys their beer outside of the gimmick. All right, yo. I think I'm gonna bounce, y'all. Good show.
Same. Nice hanging.
Cool.
We'll see you, John Holzer.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Cheese, bros.
Later.